This is the Bobby George case. The prominent business owner in Northeast Ohio is expected to be in court here. His name has been called for this initial appearance. Of course, the accusations, and that's all they are at this point, they are charges and accusations about a woman that he lived with, several counts that he's facing, including attempted murder, rape, aggravated assault, and several cases of kidnapping. Looks like the judge is about to go on the record.
Yes. Go ahead.
Judge, we would like to exercise our waive our right to a preliminary hearing, agree to the temporary protection order. We've already executed a waiver, I believe, that the court should have. I also had executed a document for the court restraining him from having any contact with the alleged victim in this matter. And again, as I indicated, we will consent to the temporary protection order. If I can be heard on bond at the appropriate time, Judge.
Right now, Counselor?
Thank you. Your Honor, I think we understand that you have discretion to decide whatever bond you think is appropriate, and I certainly respect that. I can tell you that I think the parties have a recommendation for you. I'd ask the court to consider a $100,000 10% bond. Judge, I am in receipt of his risk assessment from the court. As the court knows, he has no prior felony history. He has one misdemeanor conviction that they've listed, which is a failure to display license plate. Other than that, he has no criminal history whatsoever. He has been reported a local business person. He has great ties in this community. I've been working since Saturday when we were first made aware of this to arrange his turn-in. We were able to do that successfully with the assistance of PLA and U.S. Marshals today. And we're very grateful of the court allowing us to have this case on the docket today. Thank you.
From the state?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We'll ask for $100,000 in this case. Also for the defendant to turn over his passport and any firearms that he possesses.
Judge, I do have his passport with me, and I'll turn that over to the clerk or whoever you direct me to.
Go ahead, Mr. Prosecutor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's it?
That's it?
With all of this information on the probable cause, that's all you have to say?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not going to do a $100,000 bond. That probable cause is horrible. Was the victim notified of this addition to the hearing?
The victim was here Saturday for the temporary protection order, Your Honor, and I spoke to the detective this morning.
You've consented to this protection order. Do you understand that, Mr. George?
I do.
The protection order says you shall not harm, threaten, follow, stalk, or harass the named victim or commit sexual order offenses against the person named in this order. Do you understand that?
I do.
I'm sorry?
I do, Your Honor.
This protection order is good in all 50 states. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
A violation of this protection order is another offense with an additional 180 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
It says you shall not enter or interfere with a residence, school, business, place of employment, daycare centers, or child care providers of the named person in this order. That includes the buildings, grounds, and parking lots of those locations. The person named in this order cannot give you permission to violate this order. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You shall not interfere with the protected person's right to occupy any residence by canceling utilities, insurance, interrupting telephone communications, mail delivery, or any other items. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You shall surrender all keys or garage door openers if you possess them to the Cleveland Police Department immediately. Immediately means at your next available opportunity. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You must stay away from the protected person at least 500 feet. 500 feet is more than 2 football fields. If you see that person, it's your responsibility to go in the opposite direction immediately without comment. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You shall not initiate or have any contact with protected person named in this order at their residence, business, place of employment, schools, daycare centers, or child care providers. Contact includes but is not limited to landline, cordless, cellular, or digital, instant messaging, fax, mail, or any other form of electronic communications, including social media. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Again, the person named in this order cannot give you permission to do so. Do you understand that?
do, Your Honor.
You shall not use any form of electronic surveillance on a protected person. Do you understand that?
I do.
You shall not remove, damage, hide, or dispose of any property or pets owned by that person. Do you understand that?
I do.
You shall not cause or encourage any other party to contact this person on your behalf. That includes your mother, or any relatives, and/or friends. Do you understand that?
I do.
You shall not possess, use, or carry or obtain any deadly weapon. If you have one or carry concealed license, it must be turned over to the Cleveland Police Department immediately. Again, immediately means at your next available opportunity. Do you understand that?
I do.
If you have any clothing, you may pick them up upon your release up to 7 days after. After that 7 days, it's too late. You cannot go there. Do you understand that?
I do.
When I say go there, I mean you have to go to the police station and be escorted to the home. You cannot just show up, and you can't claim that you're waiting for the police to come. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You shall not use or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Parties don't have any children together?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
You're on notice as of today. Any violations beyond today mean you could be charged with what I explained to you earlier. You will be brought a copy of this for you to sign. It will be added to your file. The bond is $200,000, 10%.
Thank you
Stay
very much,
away.
Judge.
I'm sorry?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, you want me to take that back to?
No, you can't do that.
I gotta find the other things. Right?
Good to see you, Mr. Spells. You have
Thanks,
a
always
good
nice
day.
seeing you, Judge. Thanks.
Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to analyze what just happened in court based on my more than 20 years experience covering court.
Mr. Spells,
And there it sounds like they're going to move
tell
on
me he
to.
needs to turn that passport into CPD. Well, back there.
I was gonna swear it to the clerk or whoever you tell me, Judge.
Yeah, give it to the property. Right, now? Who did they give it to?
Usually I swear it to the clerk's office when we post the bond, and they keep it.
Okay.
That's-
I mean, I trust you.
Yeah, that's what
you
usually
do.
what we do.
Okay,
So I have it, and I'll make sure that happens.
okay.
Thanks.
Sounds good. What's your name, young man?
So they are moving on to another arraignment. You heard the judge say, "What's your name, young man?" I'm going to give you a couple of perspectives here about what we just saw. First of all, you heard the attorney for Bobby George thank the judge for allowing that proceeding. Why did he thank her? Well, that's because a normal first appearance and a normal bond, we've seen this. We've covered these. Arraignments are generally held at about 8:30. Rarely go off on time. They generally take about an hour, and they arraign everybody that was arrested overnight. There's usually 10, 20, 30 people that go through an arraignment. Granted, arraignments are short, and it's generally over by 9:30. Well, Bobby George hadn't turned himself in and gone through the booking process in time to catch that general arraignment. So there was something special that happened here, and you heard his own attorney thank the judge for allowing this arraignment, because what would have happened if the judge didn't grant this special arraignment is that Bobby George would have had to sit in jail all day today, all night tonight, and hit tomorrow morning's arraignment. But now he's been given a bond, and he'll be able to post that $200,000. He needs 10% of that. I'm assuming a man of Bobby George's status has that money and will be able to bail out. Here's the other thing that was interesting. Normally, when you are making your initial appearance, the prosecutor, the man that had the glasses on, standing closest to the camera, he will read off at least a basic synopsis of the charges. Judge Bobby George is accused of blank, blank, blank. On said date, he's accused of blank, 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 and these are the charges. We would request that bond be set at blank. Well, in this case, we didn't get that. The prosecutor, for whatever reason, felt that he did not need to read aloud in court the charges that Bobby George is facing and the severity of those charges. The judge even called the prosecutor on that. All we heard from the prosecutor was say, we're asking for a $100,000 bond. The judge said something to the effect of, that's it? You don't want to read anything that's on the docket, that lengthy docket that you have? And he said, no, we're just requesting the $100,000 bond. You then heard the judge say, well, this is going to be way more than $100,000, or this is not going to be a $100,000 bond. So the judge, realizing the severity of the charges, the next part that was interesting is, boy, did the judge get into every facet of a no contact order. The woman that is accusing Bobby George of these crimes is someone he lived with or lives with. We're not sure the situation, but the judge made sure that he understood every facet of a protection order. You are not allowed to contact her. You're not allowed to get on social media and contact her. You're not allowed to have your mom contact her or any other family member. Not sure why she singled out Bobby George's mom, but then you're not allowed to go to the house and claim that you're waiting for the police to show up. So she clearly understands Bobby George is going to bail himself out or be bailed out, and that he is going to be on the streets. So the judge did what she could to make sure that he understands he is not allowed to have any contact with a woman that is making these allegations, and they are lengthy. According to the court documents, according to the charges he's facing, and that's all we can go on, the paperwork that's already been put out, several instances of alleged abuse, several instances of alleged kidnapping, not allowing this woman to leave a situation. That's what counts as kidnapping. This is not a scenario where he's accused of going out and picking up a kid off the street. That's not what kidnapping means all the time in the state of Ohio. Anytime you restrain someone from leaving any situation, that instantly can be brought up with a kidnapping charge. There are allegations of rape, allegations of strangulation. He is facing several charges from several different dates in the year 2023. We're going to keep on this case. Obviously, this has a major ripple effect that will go through Northeast Ohio, considering the amount of businesses that Bobby George owns in our area, the clout that he carries, the contacts that he has within Northeast Ohio. But we got him in court today via video. Didn't even have to come up and be there in person. That's another sort of interesting twist in all of this. Most people, when they make their arraignments, you have to show up in court. Not all the time. There are several cases where it can be done via video. It doesn't happen a lot in Northeast Ohio unless it's a generally some type of murder, multiple murder suspect that they don't want to bring into the courtroom for safety reasons. There could have been, because they were trying to get this in under the wire, get a special arraignment. That may have been the agreement. Let's get him. He's still being processed as someone who has just turned himself in. So they may have said, let's just do this via video while he's down being booked by the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department. We'll have the very latest on all of our news. Our next upcoming newscast, 11 o'clock on CW43, then our noon news on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19. Have a good afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.